y'all, my name is Christi. Today is October 3rd, 2019. We are doing an exercise progression assignment. Today we're going to be working with Ryan, who's going to demonstrate all the progressions that we're going to go over. Our final goal for the exercise progression is to be able to do a Swiss ball pike. You ready to demonstrate, Ryan? Okay. So what Ryan's going to do right now is he's going to go ahead and get in the starting position. So you can get in the starting position multiple ways. You can start by having your knees on the medicine ball and then walk yourself out. Or you can start by on an all-four position and slowly put your legs up. So the end exercise is the Swiss ball pike. So what Ryan's going to do is he's going to keep his core tight and he's going to lift his butt in order to get into a pike formation while keeping his toes on the Swiss ball. So go ahead, Ryan. Remember, tighten your core, pull your glutes, keep going, keep going. Good, okay, go ahead and come back down. Awesome, remember to breathe. One more time, he's gonna demonstrate, one more time. Go ahead. Stable, 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 pull up. Good, go ahead and come back down. So that is our final goal exercise for this progression. We're gonna go into 4 different exercise progressions or regressions that you can use in the future. Before we begin the progression, I just want to tell you a little bit about why I chose this exercise. The Swiss ball pike allows for full body stability. By using the progression, the athlete can allow their body to adapt via strength and via flexibility and stability. Sports such as pole vaulting, javelin throwing, cheer and dance, swimming, and even rugby can use this exercise to not only adapt for strength, but also for stability and key movements. For instance, rugby players, such as flankers or props, need full body stability during rucks and during tackles. This movement allows for power adaptations and strength, while also allowing for the athlete to form a stable base. For our first progression, we are going to go over the hands plank. So basically it's like your typical plank. Instead of being on your elbows, you're actually going to be on your hands. So the key to this exercise is to keep a neutral pelvic and spine, contract your glutes, and pull your belly button to your spine by contracting your inner abdominal muscles. This position or this exercise can be held for however long you would like it. However, if you are starting out, I recommend doing anywhere between 15 to 30 seconds for 3 to 4 reps. However, if you want to challenge yourself, you can always try to go to 1 minute, 2 minutes. I have seen some athletes do 5 minutes. So this is the first exercise for our progression. It's allowing you to keep a stable base, which you will need in future exercises. So for our second exercise today, we are going to do the reverse inchworm. So unlike the typical inchworm, we're not going to be moving our hands today, we're going to be moving our feet. So what you're going to do during this exercise is you're going to take small and choppy steps up towards your hands while keeping your hands on the ground. So once you get to a position where you feel like your hamstrings are starting to burn or you can't necessarily get as far up because of your flexibility, just go ahead and start reversing back to the plank position. This exercise is going to start working your glutes and your hamstrings, which you will need in order to complete the Swiss ball pike. And it's also allowing for your back and shoulder muscles to begin muscle stability and muscular control. So for our third exercise for our progression, we're actually going to be doing the hands plank on the Swiss ball now. So your feet are going to be on the Swiss ball and your hands are going to be on the ground. So you can get into this position in multiple ways. You can do like Ryan did and kind of climb over the ball with one leg still attached to the Swiss ball to allow it, to not allow it to move. However, if you feel more comfortable getting into the position by going on all fours and putting your feet on the ball, you can also do that. You can also go over the ball by kind of sliding over the ball and crawling into the position. However, if you tend to do this and kind of like Ryan's doing, you might have to scoot the ball back depending on your space. So just like the plank, we want to keep our core tight and keep our neutral spine and pelvic position. And go ahead and remember to contract those glutes. Those muscles need to work throughout this whole exercise. If you want to kind of make this a little more difficult or a little less difficult, you can change the object that you are resting your legs on. It can be a jumping block, it can also be a Bosu ball, or it can just be an elevated surface. For our fourth exercise today, we are going to be doing the Swiss ball knee curl. For this exercise, you're going to want to keep those two key points, which is contracting your glutes and keeping your core tight with those inner abdominal muscles. So before Ryan begins, you can also change this up, this progression exercise up by, instead of using a Swiss ball, you can use a TRX band. You can also use a medicine ball, which will add a little bit of weight and cause a larger drag on the ground. So Ryan's going to go ahead and demonstrate this exercise. So it's the same starting position as the Swiss ball plank, getting into a stable position, keeping your core tight, contracting your glutes, natural pelvic and spine position. So the goal for this exercise is to curl your knees towards your chest. So the ball is now starting to move, which is part of the progression to get to the Swiss ball pike. So while this is going on, your glutes, hamstrings, and quads are contracting and relaxing to try and keep the Swiss ball in a straight line and keep it stable for your top half of your body. Made it to our final exercise, which of course is our goal of a Swiss ball pike. During this position, you need to remember, strengthen your core, keep that core tight and engaged the whole time. Your legs are now in a straight position while doing the pike. You want to try and keep your legs as straight as possible, but also engage your hamstrings and your glutes at the same time. So this exercise, before Ryan demonstrates, can be developed into multiple different ways. You can actually progress the exercise even more by, at the end of the first movement, which is where you're actually getting to the pike position. Once you get there, you can also develop a handstand that you can go back down into the medicine ball pike. You can also change up the modality by adding, instead of the Swiss ball, you can use a medicine ball. You can also use TRX bands as well. So Ryan's going to go ahead and demonstrate the Swiss ball pike for us. Remember, multiple ways that you can get into the position. Just as long as you feel comfortable on the Swiss ball and you feel stable before you start moving, that is the main concern. So once, Ryan, you feel stable, go ahead and get into the pike position. Pull, 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 pull. Good, good. So keep your toes on the ball when you go up into the pike position. Go ahead and come down. Good. So if you don't feel comfortable with your toes on the medicine ball right away, you can keep your shins on the medicine ball as well. Kind of give you a little bit firmer, stable base. Okay, one more time. Engage that core, pull your glutes high, pull, pull, pull. Good. Okay, back down. So that is our end goal for the day. Thank you for watching.